Our venue is Conan High School in suburban Hoffman Estates, where tonight the 1994 Girls State Soccer title is on the line as the Red Hawks of Naperville Central get set to take on the Fighting Saints of St. Charles. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg, and welcome to this evening's telecast. I suppose apropos that we have the matchup that we have this evening for the state championship. You see, St. Charles is undefeated. Naperville Central has lost only once. That was to the Fighting Saints of St. Charles earlier this year. Neither team has obviously lost on their road to the finals, and Naperville Central also got by their arch nemesis, the Huskies of Naperville North, just a couple of days ago by a score of 2-1. Yesterday, they advanced by defeating Lincoln Way 3-0. They also got quick goals this morning to defeat Granite City by that same score. As for St. Charles, well, the zeros are the thing I have to look at. They defeated Batavia 3-0, Nutri 2-0, and this morning they were all over Palatine by a score of 4-0. Join me for this evening's telecast, Ed Vicinic, and I mentioned the zeros on the right hand of the column. 10 straight shutouts for St. Charles.
Well, if you've scored a goal against St. Charles this year, you're in a very rare group. Only 3 teams have done it, so they've got over 22 shutouts. Just an outstanding team from the goalkeeper all the way up, but they do it defensively, and then obviously they got people that can put the ball in the net. They're the #1 team in the state, and they're expecting to win a state championship.
And Naperville Central is expecting to be very competitive. They come in with somewhat of a Cinderella attitude, but not an attitude of a defeatist at all.
Without question, they ride on emotion, and they're a very solid team. When you try and pick out one player, it's hard to do because they win as a team, but we know there are players, Mike.
Yeah, there certainly are, and one of the ones to watch tonight for Naperville Central is the big girl in the middle, if you will, Ann Mucci.
Ann Mucci, only a junior. She had a battle with mononucleosis earlier in the season, but she's come on strong at the right time for Naperville Central, and she plays very well with her back toward the goal. She's a target player. They play the ball in. Either she turns and goes to goal or she lays it off. Very dangerous.
And a lot of offensive weapons also for the Fighting Saints of St. Charles. They would not be undefeated if they couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, but their success starts with defense, and their defense starts at the sweeper position with Josha Kruger.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I think in any sport you start with defense and then move up. Well, Josha does it all. She's very intelligent, very rarely makes a mistake back there, makes the tackle, and then she can play the ball out of the back quickly with a pass, and she also has the foot skill to dribble it up and get it up to the forwards.
On Sports Channel in the past, we brought you the Big Ten Soccer Championship. Obviously, the boys have contested their state title. We've watched Willie Roy's Northern Illinois team, but some viewers may say, girls soccer, what's going on? They're going to find out tonight that a lot is going on with this great sport.
It's unbelievable the growth that women's soccer, girls soccer has established and enjoyed over the last couple of years. Everybody talks about how soccer goes, where the girls are starting to get into it, and they're getting into it very well. You're going to enjoy this.
Yeah, and we're going to get into it after this time. I'll come back, hear from the head coaches, meet the starting lineups, that and more as Sports Channel brings to you the 1994 Girls State Soccer Championships. It's coming up next. Welcome back to Conan High School in suburban Hoffman Estates. The Fighting Saints of St. Charles are 26-0-1. After they won earlier today, there was very little celebration because tonight they hope to finish the job in which they've set out to accomplish all season long. I talked to the head coach, Tim Daly, about that.
We hope to, yeah. We've had a lot of success this year. But again, there's this one final step. We'd like to come out of this. Either way, it's going to be a great game, I think, with the 2 squads here.
And you look forward to playing against a team you greatly respect in Naperville Central.
We enjoy playing both of Naperville's, particularly Central. They got an outstanding team, good coaching, and they've just been such a success story this year. A lot of our kids know one another, so it's a great rivalry.
And certainly is. As a matter of fact, the respect of Tim Daly for Ed Watson was quite evident this year when the Coach of the Year ballots were released, because Tim Daly actually voted for Ed Watson. We talked to Ed Watson a little bit earlier. He is excited about tonight. He says his team has high expectations. They know they come in the underdog, but they do not come in expecting not to have a chance to win.
We're happy to be here. And I've talked about it with other coaches, and we kind of agreed that, you know, if you played a 7-game series, we probably would lose, but it's 1. And I can remember a Villanova team that didn't have a prayer against Georgetown, and I don't think that we're as far away as Villanova and Georgetown was. So, you know, we'll go out and play the 80 minutes, and I think we've improved from the first time, and I'm sure they have too. But we had a further distance to travel than they did, and I think I think we've covered some ground. We'll see how it pans out tonight.
Yes, certainly we will. As Susie Miller will be in the goal. She will split time. We'll explain that situation, the goalkeeping situation for Naperville Central a bit later. Jeanette Croce, a defender, along with Bridget Darda, Debbie Walsh, and Jessica Wider. Rebecca Rose, Jeanette Ledensky, Jessica Smith, the superstar we talked about, Ann Mucci, Lisa McCamick, a wonderful freshman player, and Amy Dowdle will start up front for Naperville Central this evening. For the Fighting Saints of St. Charles, one of the best goalkeepers in the state, Merritt Elsie. She has only been scored upon this season on 4 occasions. The backfield of St. Charles, very experienced with Becky Frano, Sandy Neche, Amy Reinert, and of course, Josha Kruger. In the midfield, Cassie Dean, Melissa Campbell, Anna Marinaccio, Marcy Miller, who actually took 8 stitches in this morning's game, but is expected to play and play at 100%. Allison Wade and Ruth Poulin are the forwards for St. Charles. And Ed Vicinic, we talked about it in the open, a matchup of teams that have only lost once this year, and that was to each other.
Yeah, it should be really interesting. You know, I think we hit on it a little before that St. Charles really playing with a determination tonight. They expect to win this game. I don't know what's in the mindset of Naperville Central right now. You heard their coach say we're happy to be here. That's part of it, but he might be playing possum a little bit with us.
Well, I accused him of being a little bit of a Lou Holtz earlier today when I was visiting with him. He said, "What's the strategy?" He said, "Well, I think we'll come out in the red and white uniforms and lace up the shoes, play, and try to score goals." So truly, he is, I think, leading by example, trying to keep his girls refreshed, if you will, and not let them feel the pressure of playing the mighty Fighting Saints of St. Charles. We'll find out if Naperville Central truly is a much different team than the one that lost on April 9th in St. Charles by a score of 2-0. St. Charles, the Fighting Saints, in the white uniforms, they are our home team. Naperville Central in the red uniforms with the white shorts. That is Josha Kruger, number 21. Watch for her to sweep up the backfield on frequent occasion today, and you might be able to see a little bit of a Band-Aid on the head of number 9, Marcy Miller. She took those 8 stitches earlier today. We've got a foul and a direct kick, St. Charles.
Another person that a little bandaged up for St. Charles is their forward, Ruth Poulin, number 20. She's got a bandage over her lip, and she caught an elbow in one of the preliminary games about 3 or 4 games ago in the sectional. So a few of the St. Charles Saints bandaged up.
Now the head ball on net and the save made early on by Susie Miller. Here's our officials, Greg Cole, Wassell Walk, and Brad Hill, the linesmen, for this evening's state championship. Red Hawk throwing here on the near sideline. Ball played there by number 11, Bridget Dorada.
Something to watch for in this game, I think, Mike, is the experience-wise of St. Charles. Not only have a lot of players been here before, but if you look up and down the roster on the field, it's mostly seniors, although there are a couple freshmen that will see some playing time. And just as a contrast, Naperville Central has a freshman as their sweeper, or Josha Kruger over on St. Charles, a senior, and that's a very key position.
They also have a freshman, one of the finest in the state. As you see, great conditions for soccer tonight, 71 degrees. Josha Kruger again to take the direct kick. She scored on one earlier today. She has not scored a lot of goals this year, obviously from the sweeper position, 6 goals and 6 assists. But she was excited when we talked to her earlier today. And there's the scoring opportunity and a goal! Allison Wade off the direct kick from Josha Kruger, and St. Charles gets on the board.
Very well taken by Allison Wade. Kruger played the ball long, and Wade, who transferred in to St. Charles this year, she's from Louisiana. Watch the ball played by Kruger, and Wade will just sneak in behind defender Debbie Walsh here and gets it. Actually not the cleanest hit in the world, but tomorrow in the papers it's going to look like a wicked side volley.
2 goals this morning against Palatine for Allison Wade, and the senior forward scores her 23rd goal of the season here in just the 3rd minute of action from Conant.
Well, that's a big psychological factor on both ends, obviously. I mean, when you're the favorite team like St. Charles, you don't want to let an underdog in, and they haven't done that. Now we'll watch and see how Naperville Central responds to something like that being scored on as early in this match as they have been.
And both yesterday and today, Naperville Central got on the board very early and built themselves leads. They had a 3-0 lead the other day before we were even 1/2 old when they beat Lincoln Way, scored their first 3 goals within the first 28 minutes of the soccer match. By the end of 10 minutes of play this morning against Granite City, they led 2-0. So they find themselves in a hole for the first time in a while, and do keep in mind, St. Charles has a string of 10 straight shutouts.
Like we said earlier, they have only been scored upon 3 times in the entire season that they've had so far. So our 3 teams have only scored, and there's more than 3 goals. But it's an uphill climb already for Naperville Central.
Melissa Campbell plays it up. That is number 20, Ruth Poland, the senior striker. Tackled off the ball by Central.
Just a great tackle there by Wirt, who stepped in strong against a very quick Ruth Poland.
Jessica, when I talked to Ed Watson, Jessica Wirt, number 29, who just made that tackle, described as the most physical player in Naperville Central history. Quite a compliment there. St. Charles to push it up again. Ruth Poland, the senior striker, plays it to the left side. Cassie Dean to try to run it down. It'll be a throw-in for the Fighting Saints.
Well, watch Cassie Dean on this side and Melissa Campbell on the other side, because St. Charles really likes to play the ball out wide and have those 2 players use their speed down the wings and get it across it back the middle to Poulin and Wade. And both Dean and Campbell, very exciting players on the wing.
St. Charles really controlling the early moments of this game. Becky Frano. And that will be played on one hop by the keeper, Susie Miller. Throw-in belonging to St. Charles. Last year they finished in 3rd place, lost to Downer South in the semifinals. Won the state championship in 1990 and 92. Good run from the right side, and a fine tackle placed by Naperville Central. Jeanette Ledensky clears the ball, and the Red Hawks will throw it in and advance upfield.
That was just another situation. I talked about it, getting the ball to the wings. You saw Marcy Miller, their central midfielder, number 9, who she's just all everything. I mean, if we went through all her all honors, we'd be here all day long. But got the ball out wide, and Melissa Campbell beat the defender down the right side. If not for a great play by the sweeper back there, Jeanette Kroos, would have been another big scoring opportunity for St. Charles.
Marcy Miller, a very decorated player here in the state of Illinois, going to play collegiately at Wisconsin. Sandy Netche, the senior marking back, to throw it in. And there is Marcy Miller.
I can't emphasize enough what a responsibility it is on Jeanette Kroos back there. Being a freshman and being in a situation where, you know, your defense is relying on you to gather them together and bark out commands. I'm sure it took her some time to feel confident amongst the upperclassmen.
Ed Watson talked about the fact that she is only starting to become what will soon be a great player. I'd like to get her to grow about 5 inches, though. He's only about 5'3", as opposed to the very sizey Josha Kruger, who just skies over everybody in the back, and that is so important to be able to head those high balls away when you play at a very competitive level in this sport, Ed.
Without a doubt. And there's just another situation there. St. Charles, you know, when you want to play the ball to the wings, like I talked about, you have to have people that can get the ball back across the goal, and sometimes that's not easy. But St. Charles certainly has a wealth of players that are able to get the ball to the end line and get a good, strong cross across to make it dangerous.
Allison Wade in the 3rd minute of our match, getting the Fighting Saints of St. Charles on the board. This morning they defeated Palatine 4-0. A well-balanced attack in that game, with Wade getting 2 goals, Josha Kruger had 1, and Anna Marinaccio had the 4th and final goal. And this morning against Palatine, they allowed just 9 shots on goal. Just underway here in the high school championship, and another good opportunity. Fine save by Susie Miller.
Ruth Poulin with a quick strike up front. Ed Watson wanted his Red Hawks to make a lot of confusion and chaos in front of the St. Charles goal, so they might get a garbage goal or something to go in, and so far the Red Hawks haven't even had the ball in the attack half.
Again, Cassie Dean, chance with the left, tackled nicely and cleared out of bounds, and tripping call on Cassie Dean, so the Red Hawks will advance.
Good look at Debbie Walsh. She's the one who got over and got in Cassie's face there. An excellent play, went to the ball strong and made the tackle.
Coach talked about that in describing her this morning, Ed, that she is the one player on this team who really lays the body on the line, and she proved it right there. She retreated nicely to chase down the fleeting Cassie Dean. But certainly St. Charles in command in the early goings here tonight.
Without question, Naperville Central really hasn't even kicked a long ball that has had to be fielded by Merritt Elsie. As good a keeper as Elsie is, and you're getting a lot of free time back there with a team as good as St. Charles, and so it becomes really a mental battle to stay prepared every second of the game, because you never know when something might spring up. That's just as tough as making the physical saves.
Well, being a former keeper myself, I wanted to check out how these young ladies played between the pipes, if you will, and she had some great hands, good quickness, good awareness of the ball. They were working corner kicks in the warm-up, so indeed she does have a great defense in front of her, but I have a feeling she earned a handful of her 73 saves on the season. St. Charles on the defensive for the first time. Good ball to the left. One time with the left, over the crossbar, and it'll be a goal kick for St. Charles. The first opportunity of the night for the Red Hawks of Naperville Central.
What a super ball played into the striker, left winger Amy Dowdell. And Dowdell getting the left foot on it quickly. She's among the leading scorers. Here's the ball played in from the midfield. Just a step on the defender, a first-time hit, and there's those quick strikes we just talked about. She sided up well, got it in stride, and just got it over the crossbar. But Dowdell this season, a big goal scorer at 14 goals to lead the team.
Amy Dowdell, the 3rd all-time leading scorer in Naperville Central history. Played by Jessica Smith, the senior midfielder. And that'll be an obvious violation, and St. Charles will push it up.
Mike, this is something that I think Naperville Central really needed, and if they can, they need to sustain it into the attack half for a little while. Maybe not get anything dangerous, but just keep the ball in a position where St. Charles has to play a little bit defense. It'll build the confidence a bit. We're going to look at Ann Mucci. All the way back into the midfield.
And tried to turn the ball there. Oh, good push there. And an offsides call. But I'll tell you what, you see the way Merritt Elsie came out to challenge anyhow. The offsides was certainly flagged down, but Merritt Elsie came out and played that pass through the middle wonderfully.
She's in control. Watch the ball here played quickly by the freshman, Lisa McAmack. Up ahead, and there was Dowdell again.
And Elsie comes out with authority, but the offsides call negates the good scoring opportunity. But now twice, Amy Dowdell has been sprung on that left wing, so we'll see how St. Charles will try to defend against that as this game moves on. The Red Hawks of Naperville Central finally starting to apply some pressure as we are about 14 minutes into this first half of play. Mike Goldberg along with Ed Vicinic, the 1994 Girls State Soccer Championships.
Substitution for Naperville Central.
Number 4, yep, Margot Denakis, sophomore midfielder.
Marcy, go to 5. Good. Come on, Saints, you can do it. Good. Good, Saints.
I really like the way Naperville Central plays some quick one-touches from the midfield, especially in those areas where they're getting hard balls to their feet and just deflecting it into the attack and letting their speedy forwards race onto the ball.
Lisa McCamick, the freshman, tackled away by Sandy Netche. And the Red Hawks really working the red zone now. Centering pass, too long. Lisa McCamick with the center. And it's cleared upfield by the Saints, cleared nicely. A chase between Jessica Wirt and St. Charles, Ruth Poland. Ruth to try to advance. Jeanette Croce chases down.
Wirt uses her body so well, you know, on that last run down the sideline, she just stepped right in front of Poulin, got her body between Poulin and the ball, made the tackle, and then the pass back to the sweeper was a little light on the touch, and it put Croce in a bit of a pickle back there, but Naperville Central able to get out of it with no worse for wear.
Cassie Dean now working, and she's tripped up on the play by Jessica Smith. Got a free kick situation. And they will not move Josha Kruger up to take it. Allison Wade will take the free ball. Thrown up nicely and played very easily by Susie Miller.
Got a substitution into St. Charles lineup. Stephanie Cox, number 18, only a freshman in the midfield, and I think she's in for Marinaccio.
Well, we talked about the St. Charles team in the open feeling like this is their destiny, and this is a program that has just been dominant over the last couple of years. Over the past 3 seasons, head coach Tim Daly's record at St. Charles, 74-4-5.
That includes 2 state championships in 90 and 92. And as you mentioned, he came up short, 3rd place last year.
A one-timer wide of the net, goal kick, Naperville Central. In 13 years as the head coach, Tim Daly has never lost more than 3 games in a single season. I think that'll
nice
get you hired back. Yeah, you got that right.
Lori Seidel, number 16, a freshman, has come in to play midfield, replacing Cassie Dean on the left outside mid, and there she is on the ball.
Lori Seidel, a very versatile freshman, can play any of 6 positions, and has so this year. Marcy Miller up the left wing. Marcy being chased down by Jessica Hutchins. Headed out by Jeanette Croce. And now pushed ahead. Looked like they were trying to work that left wing again, Ed, and they will. Comes Amy. The centering pass, open ball. And it will be cleared by St. Charles, Lori Seidel.
That was unlucky for Lisa McCamick there because she got a great ball and just missed on her first touch. If she got it settled, she would have been right in front on the doorstep.
And cleared away again by St. Charles. Number 5, Becky Frano. Josha Kruger, and a throw-in for Naperville Central. 23 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the first half. It is 1-0 St. Charles. As they scored in just the 3rd minute of our match. Head ball up high, played easily by Merritt Elsie. Looked like Melissa Campbell just overran the ball a bit. And she pushes it up, and Naperville Central will advance. Let's take a time out here as Sports Channel brings you the 1994 state championship. Welcome back to Conant. Mike Goldberg along with Ed Vicinic. We are in the first half. Handball committed by St. Charles. Naperville free kick back in their own defensive end. It seems like St. Charles came out with all the momentum. Naperville Central a bit tentative as they are the younger of the two teams in this state championship this evening, but they have really controlled the last 10 minutes or so of this match. Good opportunities on the left wing, such as this one. A shot and a goal! A big left foot, and we are even at one apiece. Amy Dowdell, the senior forward that we talked about, the third all-time leading scorer in Naperville Central history, just smoked it.
A great ball from the freshman to get it to the left side. Then she got a step on Amy Reinhardt and hit that left foot. And what a strike from the left side. This is exactly what Naperville Central wants to happen. And Mike, I talked earlier about how Naperville Central in the midfield, when they're about 40 yards out, their midfielders don't take a lot of touches on the ball. It's either one quick deflection forward or they take a touch and then get it up the field. That's exactly what Lisa McCamick did with the ball on the right side. And when she got it over to Dowdell, she knows exactly what to do with the ball. Amy Reinhardt doesn't miss too many tackles like that, the stopper for St. Charles, but we're all even up, and this is going to be a match.
Like a new ball game as a 10-game shutout streak has come to an end. Amy Dowdell was upset with herself because she had 5 shots on goal this morning, never put one in the back of the net. Ed Watson said, Amy, just save one for tonight, and certainly she has done so.
So Naperville Central becomes one of 4 teams now that have managed to get one past Merritt Elsie and over the goal line. You really got to take your hats off to the girls in red. It would have been very easy to say, man, we just can't, especially after the Saints score in the first or the 3rd minute of the game.
And really dominated the first 10 minutes, but since then the Red Hawks have come out and with that Cinderella attitude have said, hey, we've got nothing to lose. We are already number 2 in the state. What the heck? We're out here. We might as well go to be number 1.
Now the pendulum is going to turn a little bit as far as trying to control the momentum. Tim Daly said to me at the beginning of the game, what we have to be very concerned with is the emotional level of Naperville Central, because when they get it going, they become a much better team than they already are.
Spent some time early this morning in the semifinal games talking to assistant coach Brett Hill of St. Charles. Brett played professionally with the Cleveland Force, and I asked him about the very thing that we just saw happen. Will the girls get demoralized if a goal is scored on them? It has been so long since they have been scored on, as Susie Miller, the midfielder and goalkeeper, takes the free kick. Would they be demoralized? And he said, I'll tell you what, if they get demoralized over allowing a goal, then they don't deserve to win that game. And that is one thing that was really stressed to me by the coaching staff of St. Charles this morning, how this team is truly driven by the players. The coaches don't have to say too much. They're a mature group of individuals with a lot of leaders and a lot of character to win.
Without question. I mean, you know, we talked before. A couple of these girls have been here before, winning a state championship. Marcy Miller in the middle, and you know, there's a couple 3-year starters, 4-year starters on this squad. They know, and that answer from Brett Hall, what you would expect from a defender like Brett, who's been around for a long time, playing with the Chicago Power, a captain these days. Brett has been an assistant coach for Tim Daly for about the last 6 years, and he really works wonders with not only high school girls but kids in general. I've seen him do plenty of camps and deal with youngsters. Just an unbelievable talent, not only with his feet but with his head and what he gives back to the sport.
Gave a unique pep talk, though, one you would not hear in the locker room of the Chicago Bulls. He said, all right, girls, we have a game again tonight. We haven't accomplished anything. I want you to go home, eat a little something, get some sleep, maybe wake up, eat a little more, and absolutely no shopping. Somehow I can't picture Phil Jackson with that same sentiment. The first part of it I can understand, but truly we separate the young men from the young ladies with that pep talk, or at least that part of it, huh?
You know, there have been studies that say shopping saps at least 90% of your energy before a soccer game.
and your income or potential income, therefore. The Redhawks clear it out. I found that quite amusing, though, and Brett actually probably hit it right on the head. One of the girls yelled, "But there's a sale at Ganto's." They'll have plenty of time, and I bet you they can talk mom and dad into a couple of new outfits if indeed they come away state champions tonight.
Courtney Farina, number 11, and number 6, Megan Ryan, 2 substitutions for the St. Charles Saints. Ruth Poulin will take a break. She's one of the ones sitting down. Great ball.
And a hustle in front. Good defensive play by Jessica Wernt.
Boy, how about Megan Ryan, the freshman? She just stepped onto the field and she finds herself in front of the goal with a ball at her feet. Got ran off very nicely by Weird.
Well, would that be described as a pleasant surprise, Megan Ryan? Because that's what she was described as by her head coach, and indeed she comes in and surprises everybody with a good scoring opportunity. Susie Miller did not charge that loose ball in front of the net, but thankfully her big senior defender was there to help out.
Well, it might have been a situation where the Naperville Central defense just didn't realize who had gone out and who had come in, and that's something that you really have to take care of right away. Then again, it could have just been a great run by Megan Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. The difference between this year's St. Charles team and last year's truly is their depth, and we have seen Tim Daly go to his bench very early in this game, and without hesitation. Courtney Farina, centering pass in front, lefty, on the post, slides away, and finally rolls over the end line. Another good offensive opportunity for the Fighting Saints of St. Charles, as Lori Seidel on the back door almost had a chance to throw it in the back of the net.
Here's a replay. Number 6 right there, Ryan, is a freshman, and on the back post is a freshman as well. I mean, you talk about a wealth and a pipeline of talent in St. Charles. I mean, 2 freshmen almost team up there, and I was really impressed with the play of Megan Ryan there to hold off a mark and get that ball across the front of the goal.
Played by Josha Kruger, the senior sweeper, and the freshman sweeper retreats, Jeanette Croce. And there is Marcy Miller. Marcy, when she has the chance, can really take over a soccer match as she tries to center it into the zone, headed out nicely by Naperville Central's number 29, Jessica Wernt. And a foul called against and flagged against St. Charles as Wernt went down hard.
Keep your eye on St. Charles when they have the ball, how sharply and how quickly they cut back the ball. The entire Saints squad has great foot skills. I mean, that's something that they're known for, but they work a lot on their technique as well as the tactics, but almost every one of these girls takes the 2 quick steps forward, then cuts it back the other way, gains a little time and space, is able to look up and then play the ball across to a teammate. But the last 2 or 3 minutes, we've seen a lot of the cutback moves from St. Charles.
Ruth Poulin returns to the Fighting Saints lineup. 21 goals, 12 assists on the year. Ruth Poulin is on her way to play collegiately at the University of Michigan. Becky Frano with a little space. All of a sudden it was closed up quickly by the Redhawks. Good play in the midfield by Jeanette Ledensky. Pushed ahead to the left wing again. She's got one already and she's working towards another. Cleared away by Becky Frano. Amy Dodal really playing a fine match so far in the left wing position.
If I'm Naperville Central, I'm going to try and get that ball to the left wing for Dowdell every chance I get, because every time she touches the ball, she's created a dangerous situation. And right now, St. Charles defense on the right side having troubles with her, and Amy Reinert is the one assigned to mark her at this moment.
Amy Dowdell with the goal for Naperville Central in the 18th minute of this match. Allison Wade put St. Charles on the board early in the 3rd minute. We are tied at 1-1, under 14 minutes remaining in the first half of the 1994 state championships here at Conant High School in suburban Hoffman Estates.
A couple starters for St. Charles back in the lineup. number 2, Casey Dean, on the left outside midfield, and inside is Ann Marinaccio. Jessica Wirt will take the free kick. She had a big goal in the quarterfinal win for Naperville Central. Just hit about a 40-yard cannon in that 3-0 win for Naperville Central. That was against Lincoln Way.
Marcy Miller heads it ahead. Some good physical play there between Lisa McCamick and a St. Charles player. And here come the Fighting Saints, Megan Ryan, the freshman. Megan tried to push it ahead to the left wing, and Cassie Dean. And a bit too far, and it'll be a goal kick. Well, I'll tell you, conditions perfect here at Conan tonight. Conan High School has been a great host to these 1994 state championships.
Freshman Lisa McCamick will take a break. Now, Mike, we talked, we're going to watch out for Ann Mucci in the middle. She hasn't had too many touches on the ball. St. Charles has done a great job of keeping her silent to this point as she touches the ball as we speak. But the left wing has been the dangerous spot for Naperville Central.
Up the right side, played again by Megan Ryan. She certainly has had her touches so far in her sparing minutes in this match. Played by Ruth Poland, now the senior striker. On the right wing, trying to make the move on Jessica Werndt. She clears it nicely. Stephanie Cox tried to push it up, lost the handle for a moment, and she's finally dragged down by Amy Dowdell. And a direct kick will be taken by Josha Kruger.
Dowdell getting back and playing some defense. Now remember, St. Charles scored their first goal off a similar situation right here, almost the exact same spot, where Kruger will put it in play.
And there it is, another great opportunity. Save it off the crossbar to follow it. Another great save by Susie Miller. Well, you called it, Coach.
Give a few high fives to Susie Miller. She was in big-time trouble, made great saves. Watch this again. Here's a great turn by Pullen, and there was a deflection off the sweeper. So Miller had to react to that, then get to the other side where Megan Ryan, who's been a little pest for the St. Charles Saints. But Susie Miller came up big to keep this at a 1-1 tie.
Ruth Poulin with a great turnaround. A little tip by the keeper off the crossbar, and she had the perseverance to know that there was another scoring opportunity for St. Charles. Susie Miller, who splits keeper time with the sophomore Shelley Kruger, with a couple of big saves there in the first half of this match.
What I think is kind of humorous is Susie Miller wears number 21, and the sweeper, Jeanette Kroos, wears number 1. And that's not a normal numbering situation in soccer.
And Mucci, as you have said, has been uncharacteristically quiet so far.
Now, if you watch sweeper Jeanette Kroos, number 1 for Naperville Central, she will take as few touches on the ball as possible. Every time she gets a chance to first time the ball, she will do so, and that's a pretty good credo to live by.
Oh, nice move by Marcy Miller. Used her body to shield the defender, but a good retreat. She works the left wing, does Marcy. Pushes it ahead to Cassie Dean. And there you go, just a one-touch by young Jeanette.
Marcy Miller is just a joy to watch. She's so intelligent, and you know, a lot of times you get players that can do a lot of things with their feet, but if their mind isn't working the way it should be, they just don't play the game. Marcy's got a great feel and a great mind.
Pushed ahead, played by Susie Miller, shot wide by Allison Wade. Tried to hurry with the left. Melissa Campbell checked back into the game. Melissa, senior outside midfielder. for St. Charles. Turned on the play by Lisa McCamick. Coach says young Lisa is the best freshman in the state. Her numbers will justify that comment, as she has 13 goals and 7 assists in this, just her freshman season.
You saw a little bit why that freshman Lisa McCamick is so good. I mean, she goes to the ball very, very strongly, and you know, a lot of times, especially if you're a freshman, you're going to be a little timid, but she gets there quickly. Her speed is an asset, then holds off defenders well, and gets the ball upfield.
And Mucci with the center, headed out by Josha Kruger. Now played through, opportunity for the Red Hawks. Defended nicely by 13, Sandy Netchie.
Well, there was another case of an early ball played by Naperville Central, and as the St. Charles defense was coming up to try and pull the attackers away from goal, they played a quick ball back in, and Jennifer Crummel almost had a good, dangerous chance at goal.
Now we have our first corner of the day, and dangerously rolls through the area, and it's cleared by St. Charles. Rebecca Rose, who took that corner, actually scored on a corner kick this morning, but the right foot of Rebecca Rose, as you know, is much more efficient on the opposite side of the field when she can banana that ball in, as that one curved away from the net very undangerously. We have moved to under 7 minutes in the first half here in our presentation of the 1994 Girls State Soccer Championship.
Another thing that has impressed me here in the early going from seeing Naperville Central is defensively, you don't see a lot of girls stepping in and biting on fakes right away. They'll try and stand up the attacker and force them to just stand there and look for some help. And while that's happening, the rest of the Naperville Central defense is also getting back into a situation where they can support.
That ball was cleared by Jeanette Laudensky. Laudensky, a youngster too, just a sophomore, has scored 16 goals in just 2 years of varsity play. Played on the right side by Melissa Campbell, defended by 10 Jessica Hutchins. And a corner kick situation for St. Charles. Their first of the contest.
Another case where the defender just rode the attacker out, waited for the striker to make the first move, and then stepped in when she needed to.
And I'll tell you what, St. Charles really flooding the zone. Playing it a little bit differently, as they have lined up at least 5 white jerseys right on the goal line. And they will all break out as soon as the ball is kicked. And there they go. The big head of Josha Kruger's right there, and she missed the opportunity just by an inch. She was on the back pole, had the opportunity for the head ball. Perfect corner kick, not executed by the head of Josha Kruger.
There's a replay of it. A lot of traffic in front of goal, and Susie Miller got caught in traffic. As a matter of fact, I think that hit the back of Margot Danikis, and that helped out Miller a bit.
Another corner kick, this one from the opposite field, the near side of the field. Be taken again by Marcy Miller, and now she'll be able to banana it in towards the goal, very dangerously, and a goal! There it is! The corner kick headed in, and it's 2-1 St. Charles.
I think that went off of a Red Hawk defender, maybe hitting number 25, Debbie Walsh, but we'll take a look at it here. Once again, St. Charles just creating a lot of traffic in front. The ball gets crossed near post, and yep, Debbie Walsh didn't get up high enough, and it deflected off of her head and into the goal, so it will be awarded to Marcy Miller, who took the corner kick. But unfortunate here for Naperville Central that the goal was scored that close to half, and that's a big boost for St. Charles.
That goal coming in the 36th minute. Marcy Miller with her 20th goal of the year. We talked about it with Marcy Miller and her counterpart Rebecca Rose, who takes the corner kicks with the right foot. You can be dangerous coming from that side when you can banana the ball in, and sure enough, we see the goal scored here by St. Charles. 2-1 Fighting Saints.
When you play a ball from the wing to the short stick or the first post, and it's got some pace on it, just a little deflection can be so dangerous. You know, you got players running there, and just a change of the ball, the direction quickly, and that's what happened there.
And we pointed out, too, how St. Charles' strategy was to flood the goal line with white jerseys and cause that commotion that you just described. All of a sudden, you got people running out of the way, running to the ball, running away from the ball, goes off a red jersey and into the back of the net. Not to mention, perfect corner kick.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think Marcy has a kind of an idea what she's doing when she gets in that particular situation.
She had 116 shots on goal during this season coming into the weekend's competition here in suburban Hoffman Estates.
And that's from a midfielder position. I mean, you really don't see that a lot. You know, the midfielders score goals here and there most of the time, but their job is basically to get the ball up to somebody in front.
Well, that's why she's going to play collegiately at Wisconsin, right?
Without a doubt. She's a smooth player. See, now there was a case where Jeanette Crows had a chance to take a touch, move it forward, and then whack it, but she just kept backing up until she got in a position that she could one-time it, and I'm sure those were the instructions of the Red Hawk coaching staff. Get the ball out of here as quick as possible.
Played strong right at the net and played easily by Merritt Elsie.
Wow, Wirt scored a goal like that in the quarterfinals against Lincoln Way, like we told you a bit earlier. She's got a very strong right foot.
Now, we said right in the open, what about this girls' soccer stuff? How are these girls maturing athletically? Perfect example there. That's a shot that many guys would like to have on the soccer field, huh?
No doubt. You know, the other thing about when the girls play, they have more of a tendency to play the game. They're being physical, but not so much where the macho part of it comes in, and there's a lot of pushing and dirty plays. These girls play hard, they go to the ball hard, but for the most part, it's always a clean, hard tackle, and they get knocked down, there isn't the pushing and shoving that goes on. So they tend to play the game a little more.
Well, at this age, how do you put this nicely? They're a little bit more in control of their egos, aren't they, Ed? I remember you back then. You were a tough guy back at this age. Many years ago, though, of course, right?
Many. I can't even remember that. Too many brain cells lost in the interim. If you say so, Mike, I guess. I didn't start playing soccer until I was a junior in high school.
Is that right?
So, at that stage, I was just kind of feeling my way around a new sport.
These girls, evidenced by their fine play today, have played this game for a long time, and unquestionably one of the best feeder systems in all of the state of Illinois is right around St. Charles country. And in the last couple of years, we've seen the high school teams from the Illinois area go to the state of Missouri, where soccer is a second lifeblood, if you will, as we see the strong right foot again of Jessica Wirt and compete down there, which didn't happen 5 to 6 years ago.
The growth is just amazing. And you know, when we did the Big Ten Championship, one of the things they talked about was how the women's programs in the Big Ten were going to start to grow and start to be added, and money was going to be funneled in. And from what I understand, at Wisconsin, they're building a whole new complex just for women's soccer.
We are under a minute, 20 seconds remaining. Naperville Central trailing St. Charles 2-1. Good scoring opportunities for both teams, though. Naperville Central was dominated the first 10 minutes of the half, but since then they have played very smart. As Merritt Elsie lets some precious seconds tick off before punting it downfield, and our first half will come to an end. But indeed one with great excitement, and it did not take long for St. Charles to get on the board. 2-1, St. Charles, the Fighting Saints, leading the Red Hawks at the end of one half of play here on Sports Channel. Allison Wade with the goal at 2:38 in the third minute of the contest. The assist going to Josha Kruger on the free kick. She just whipped through that right side put it in with the left, and that was a 1-0 lead for St. Charles. Amy Dowdell comes back unassisted, 17:48 into our matchup. Naperville Central with the first goal scored against St. Charles in 10 contests, and then Marcy Miller unassisted from the corner. Marcy Miller officially here in the booth unassisted at 35:08 off the corner kick, and indeed our score at the half is 2-1. St. Charles leading Naperville Central. We'll take a timeout, come back to Hoffman Estates, and visit with the head coach of Naperville Central, Ed Watson, as our Sports Channel coverage continues after this. Well, welcome back to Conant High School. We are at the half of the 1994 Girls State Soccer Championships, and joined by the head coach of the Naperville Central Red Hawks, Ed Watson. And Ed, not to talk about the game so much, but to talk about the state of girls soccer, evidence from all the action we've seen over the past couple of weeks. It truly is a wonderful sport here in our state of Illinois.
Yeah, it's growing each year, and some of the communities that have in the past not really had programs, they're starting to come up, and as their younger kids come through the ranks, everybody's starting to get very competitive. It's no longer 3 easy games and then 4 tough games. At this point, it's 7 difficult games, and that's the way it should be. If you're gonna win a state title, then you have to go through everybody to do it. And it's disappointing for teams that have always had the monopoly on talent to see other programs starting to gain competitive balance, but it's great for the sport itself.
Well, you and I were talking earlier, the blend of girls athletics is such a special one because they've improved over the years as athletes, but they still have that sensible feeling that maybe the guys don't have. Things that are still pure to them aren't cool to the young men anymore.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, the decoration of our bus, guys don't get out there with the white shoe polish and write sayings on the bus. It's still purely for the young ladies. And I look back 6 years ago when I was still in college, and I thought, I'm never going to coach girls sports. I just don't have the mentality for it. So I found out that it's really they're special to deal with, and I guess I've learned to create a temperament that can handle the situation. I laugh at things that would have drove me crazy probably 5 years ago. And I look forward to it so much. I'm just happy that they get the opportunity to be competitive, and the balance between male and female sports in the state of Illinois just keeps getting closer and closer together. And the girls deserve it. They want to win just as bad as the guys do.
And certainly deserving of our attention tonight. Ed Watson, the head coach of Naperville Central. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
All right, we are at the half here at Conant High School. Come back to look at some first half statistics and highlights after this timeout. It's IHSA Championships here on Sports Channel. Welcome back to Conant High School here in suburban Hoffman Estates. We are at the half with St. Charles leading Naperville Central 2-1, and really an entertaining first 40 minutes of soccer.
Yeah, I thought it was very entertaining, and there was a stage there early on where some people on the Naperville side might have been shuddering, oh my gosh, what's happening? But after that early goal, which we'll see coming up here, Naperville Central really got back in. Looks like a non-dangerous set piece way out there, but Kruger gets a good right-footed, and Allison Wade sneaks in behind Debbie Walsh and just gets a piece of it. No chance for the goalkeeper, Susie Miller, and just like that, St. Charles is out to a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Josha Kruger, the specialist at the free kick, if you will, and Allison Wade, the specialist in front of the net. She's calm, she's poised, plays it very simple in front of the net. She is the transfer from Louisiana. And it was funny, Ed Watson was saying this morning, Naperville's a great community. Couldn't she have transferred and played for us? But indeed, Allison Wade and her 23 goals on the year have been credited to the Fighting Saints of St. Charles. As you mentioned, St. Charles really did dominate the first 10 minutes of the match. As a matter of fact, they have dominated everybody. Had that shutout string going, but it came to an end right here.
Yeah, great ball from the freshman Lisa McCamick. He got it over to the Dowdell. She puts a move on Amy Reinert there and just blasts a left footer. She hit a rocket there, beats the goalkeeper Elsie to the short side. And even though Naperville Central didn't even get the ball in the attack half for the first 6 minutes of the game. They score in the 18th minute there, and we're in a 1-1 contest, and a good 1-1 contest.
And as you see, since we have visited with the official score, an assist has been added for Lisa McCamick, the freshman forward. That came in the 18th minute of our match. Amy Dowdell was a girl they were really pushing it to when they started. I'm speaking of Naperville Central, to get the offense going. They were working that left wing. They worked it to perfection on that goal.
You know, if I'm Naperville Central, I'm getting the ball left wing every single time. And here we'll see the goal that put St. Charles up ahead. A lot of traffic in front of goal. Debbie Walsh tries to get up there. She just didn't get up high enough, and the ball skipped off her head and into the top shelf there. She made an effort. That's what she's there for at that post. She just unfortunately didn't make the play.
Marcy Miller with the goal. Marcy, the all-everything on the board for the first time this championship weekend. Our numbers say 2-1, St. Charles in the lead. We're back for the second half of action after this. Welcome back. We are ready for the second half of action. Mike Goldberg with Ed Vasinick, and Ed, 2-1 St. Charles. Naperville Central has scored, though, now once in this contest. They have to feel like they can do it again.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to mention, too, before, Mike, was, you know, some of the things that get stressed by coaches. Don't allow a goal in the first 5 minutes of the half and the last 5 minutes of the half. And Naperville Central was victimized by both of that. They got scored upon in the first 5 and the last 5. Those are big momentum builders for the teams that score. So right now the Redhawks have to come out and be solid in the early going.
And they clear it out quickly. We should note Naperville Central, true to form, a goalkeeping change here for the second half. Shelly Kruger, the sophomore, is in the nets for the Redhawks of Naperville Central. So Coach Ed Watson goes with what got him here, and that is splitting the time for his two goalkeepers. Susie Miller came up with some big saves in the first half.
That one sequence where she had to go from post to post to make a save on Megan Ryan, and those were just spectacular. What a ball that was.
Yeah, Allison Wade can turn and fire, can't she? And so can Marcy Miller. As you get a good look at Shelly Kruger, came back from a knee injury over the summer, healed up well, and she is the future between the pipes for Naperville Central. Well, she's got the good uni going, and that's why I play keeper. Playing in the fall when it was cold, I wanted to wear the long pants with the cool uni.
You know, that time though, I don't know if the goalkeepers' jerseys were as wild as they've gotten these days.
They've advanced over the years, I should say. Be a fair assessment. That was headed down by Bridget Tirada.
Well, speaking of wild jerseys, anybody who's interested in watching the World Cup, and there better be a lot of them out there, keep an eye on Mexico's goalkeeper, Jorge Campos. Boy, and when you watch him, make sure you're wearing sunglasses.
That wild, huh?
Yep.
Played by Allison Wade. Pushed ahead by St. Charles. If you joined us late, St. Charles is in the home white uniforms with the black trim. Naperville Central in the red and white with the red tops and the white shorts. Bridget Tirada tried to turn on it. Now Melissa Campbell tackled off the ball by Jeanette Laudensky. And St. Charles will regain control.
Well, let's see if Naperville Central tries to get Ann Mucci a little more involved in the attack than she was in the first half.
Their all-state performer, the MVP, if you will, has been virtually silent in our match so far. She suffered with mononucleosis earlier this year. Shot on goal, played on a short hop by Kruger, very dangerously, but cleared nicely by the defenders of the Redhawks. She got that one on the short hop.
Almost in the in-between hat. That was almost big trouble for her.
Like the way she charged the ball. She went at it aggressively. Just couldn't get it in the air, and then it became even a more difficult centering pass that almost turned into a shot. Marcy Miller dribbling on the left side, tackled away. Funny story, you talk about Marcy Miller and you talk about Ann Mucci. It was actually Marcy Miller's father, who is a doctor, who cleared Ann to play.
Is that right?
He was the third opinion. Yep, he was the third opinion on the mononucleosis, and it was Dr. Miller, whose daughter plays for St. Charles, who said Ann Mucci, the star of Naperville Central, can come back and start playing. So Ann trying to say thanks to Dr. Miller in a not so nice way tonight. Head ball over the net. Good center, good head ball, placed by Allison Wade, and a scoring opportunity goes awry for St. Charles.
What a dangerous cross from Ruth Pullen. Watch her. You know what? Not only did she get the ball across, but she got it across with pace and on a line. And Allison Wade, like you talked about, Mike, very good in front of the goal. And Debbie Walsh got victimized there again. She's got to be a little more aware and cognizant of where those runs are being made and at least try to clog up the run or get the body in front. But just great on both ends from St. Charles, the cross and Allison Wade getting to the ball.
Allison Wade with 3 goals on the day, had 2 this morning, as previously mentioned, against Palatine. Had the first goal of our contest this evening. Josha Kruger knocks a Red Hawk off the ball. That was 16. Ann Mucci, the young lady we talked about. Ann's younger sister, Jane, plays for the team also. Just a freshman, doesn't see a lot of action at this point, but coach says she's going to be a good one also. When you have a star on your team, you love when they have a younger brother or sister, appropriately whatever sport we're talking about.
It usually runs in the blood.
Worked the free kick well. Look at the big save by Merritt Elsie. Talked about watching her in warm-ups, and that is perfection.
You will not see a better save than this. Guys, girls, I don't care. Look at the form. She just leaped off that right foot, off the ground, spread as long as she could go and snagged it. No hope of a rebound.
And made it look easy.
That was beautiful.
Made it look easy, and that is when you know that the keeper is in control.
It's one of the many beauties of this game.
Melissa Campbell with a run down the right wing. Pushes it down low. The pass knocked away by Debbie Welch. There's Marcy Miller. Marcy really playing a strong game in the midfield.
She's the leader that everybody in the white jerseys look for. I mean, she's always showing for the ball, and they know if they get in a trouble or a panic situation, just get the ball somewhere around number 9, and she'll do something with it, something constructive.
Jeanette Ladensky lost the handle. Jeanette having a fine young career, 16 goals in just 2 years of varsity ball. She's playing in the back tonight, though. St. Charles, this looks a lot like the beginning of the first half, doesn't it? Really controlling things. Marcy tries to center, goes back with the right, and it's going to be wide, a goal kick, Naperville Central.
One of the many things that Marcy Miller does so well is she doesn't normally force things into situations where they're not. There you saw a situation, as it happened a few times, where she went forward, she saw nothing was there, she cut the ball back into space in the midfield, and then they worked it around to the other side, and the ball eventually came back to Marcy Miller again. So they're a very patient team, and Marcy knows that, you know, I don't have to jam something in there just because I want to go forward. And that's very hard to teach in the game of soccer. I mean, you know, I've been playing with guys for a long time, and everybody just wants to go forward. They think that playing the ball backwards is a bad thing to do, which it's not.
The reset and the regroup, really, soccer, one of the only sports you really see that taken advantage of.
Well, the St. Charles fans didn't like that, but I thought it was a strong tackle.
Here comes a left. Way over the soccer crossbar, off the football crossbar, and another goal kick. But indeed, as mentioned, St. Charles in control here in the second half. It's interesting, we were talking to Ed Watson earlier. I asked him if he would change anything for this evening's game, and he readily admitted that last year in the sectionals against St. Charles, he overcoached. He tried some tactics to mark Marcy Miller and some other things that some of us at home may not understand, but as soccer enthusiasts, some of the tactics he was trying to go with 4 forwards at times and only 3, and he really mixed it up. The point I'm making, though, is he said he really overcoached that day.
You know, I think when you're especially dealing with a team like Ed has, and you know, there's a lot of young girls on here, you don't want to clog up their mind with too many things. When you say, okay, I just want you in this area, and you just mark this girl, well, then it takes away some of the offensive tendencies for that person. And then instead of playing the game, they're trying to please the coach, especially if, like Ed said, he's putting more emphasis on it, says this has to be done, this has to be done. You know, go out and let them play. Say these are the basic things that we have to do, and allow them to play within that framework.
He put Lisa Weir in the midfield to mark Marcy Miller, is what he did in that contest last year, and said poor Lisa spent most of the game looking at the big 9 on the jersey as opposed to the little 9 that was in front of the jersey. Marcy ran her to death, and in so doing, Ed Watson lost a good defender.
Right.
Played out by the Red Hawks again. Let's see if they gain some momentum, as we are about 10 minutes deep here into the second half, as they did in the first half about 10 minutes into it. This call does go their way, pushing violation and a free kick for Naperville Central. Good matchup regardless of the outcome, though. A team that's 22-1-4 against a team that's 26-0-1. And Naperville Central knows that with some skill came some luck getting here to the finals. They got a break when they avoided St. Charles in the round of 16. Then Naper North defeated Downer South. They jumped all over North, scored quick goals before North really got off the bus. They fell behind against LT Lyons Township, but still they played good ball to find themselves here today. A young Naperville Central team that will probably be heard from in the next couple of years.
I'm sure they will, and you talked about that win by Naperville North over Downer South. I had a chance to see Downer South before they got knocked out, and they're a very, very strong team. It was unfortunate for Downer South that their goalkeeper got hurt in a crucial game, and you know, ended up losing to Naperville North. But those things happen.
And 1 year ago, Downer South defeated in the state championship game by Schaumburg. Downer South, ironically, knocked St. Charles out of the tournament 1 year ago. So the powerful ones just keep getting more powerful, as we see number 9, Marcy Miller, just about at the midfield spot, just for a moment stretching out like might have been a slight cramp in the calf area.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that, Mike, because if Marcy's having trouble running, it's obviously not a good thing for St. Charles.
Jeanette Croce needs a little help, or does she? She's tough, the freshman.
That was a great defensive play, because had Allison Wade beat her down the wing there, she could have gotten the ball across, and I believe it was Ruth Poulin going to goal.
Red Hawks a little unorganized on that one. St. Charles did not attack. The communication between the keeper and the sweeper was not good there. As you see again, Marcy Miller trying to stretch some type of injury out. Looks to be running away from it okay, though, Ed.
Yeah, but that I think you hit it on. That's usually a calf muscle when it gets stretched like that.
We will keep an eye on number 9, Marcy Miller. Red Hawks push it up. And they're working it well to get the numbers now as they push up the right wing. Ball intercepted by Melissa Campbell.
What a great trap that was.
The skills of these young ladies are really polished.
Yep.
The ball control, much better than one would expect when they say, hey, we're going to go watch girls soccer tonight.
Mm-hmm. So far, we haven't seen the ball played up to Amy Dowdell as it heads that way. In the first half, she had 3 or 4 good chances and finished off one of them. But as of this second half, the Red Hawks have been unable to get her the ball. And that not only comes from the good marking that's being done on Amy, but you know, it's being clogged in the midfield, and the passes are not as easily coming for Naperville Central.
And St. Charles doing a good job of also marking the freshman Lisa McCammon, because Lisa has been a formidable force for many and has been very strong this year with her offensive skills. Great coaching on Ed Watson's part. He sent her to JV early. She scored 9 goals in 6 games. Said, young lady, you're going to play the 6 o'clock game tonight, not the 4:30 game. Ruth pulling. And a foul called. Looked like Ruth got a little extra hit in there on 29, Jessica Wirt. Jessica throws it ahead. Marcy Miller looked okay there. Naperville Central yet to get a scoring opportunity here in the second half. Cassie Dean works the left wing. And chased down by Rebecca Rose. A big shot and a good save in front by Shelly Kruger.
Well, that's how Naperville Central has been playing well defensively. Oh, this is the cross from Cassie Dean, and Kruger has to come out and snag it just before Allison Wade got a foot out. Once again, the ball's coming from the wings.
I like the aggressiveness of Shelly Kruger.
Mm-hmm.
A point of indecision is usually a losing case for a goalkeeper. You've got to make your decision if you're going to charge that ball or if you're going to stay back on your heels, let your defender work it.
Right or wrong,
That's
make
right.
a decision and do it.
That's right.
Good,
and an offside
call.
violation.
Good call. I think, I've heard coaches talk in the past about making mistakes of commission instead of omission. If you're going to make a mistake, make it being aggressive to the ball, not sitting back on your heels. Look out, Lisa's got speed over here.
Lisa McCamick. St. Charles has really tightened up their marking in the defensive backfield.
It kind of appears to me that Ed Watson has made maybe a bit of a minor adjustment with his forwards. Ann Mucci has been more withdrawn from the forward line than she was in the first half, really with McCamick now and Dodell being two strikers, with Ann Mucci hanging back a little more than she did in the first half, although that might just be something that's happening in the flow of the game. But as I look up there forward, most of the time there's only two girls in the attack for Naperville Central. There's the big, strong foot of Debbie Wall.
Merritt Elsie will play collegiately at Indiana. And anyone familiar with the sport of soccer knows the great men's program they have down on the campus in Bloomington, Indiana. Jerry Yeagley, the longtime head coach. He's got as many championships, national championships, as Bob Knight, and he's a lot easier to talk to. Not quite as beloved, but a lot easier to talk to. It was a major shocker this year when Penn State beat Indiana in the Big Ten championship. Went on to advance to the title game for the conference championships in the tournament to play the Badgers of Wisconsin, but more so of a shocker when Indiana was knocked out rather early in the NCAA tournament because they were a national championship caliber team this past season.
Well, in the Big Ten tournament, Penn State just played phenomenal soccer and a well-deserved Big Ten championship.
Fans wanted another push. No call as Naperville Central plays on. One of the common phrases heard from a soccer official, play on.
I liked the non-call. I thought it was a good aggressive tackle from behind.
Let's take a timeout. It's the 1994 Girls State Finals. We are back. Mike Goldberg along with Ed Vicinic. Hope you're enjoying tonight's presentation of the 1994 Girls State Soccer Championship. Two good teams competing here this evening. The most powerful team all season long in control with a 2-1 lead with 22 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in regulation.
Mike, it's really kind of subtle, but in the last 2 or 3 minutes, the play has slowly crept from Naperville Central's defensive third into the attack third. It's kind of like inching up. They haven't hit it directly, but Naperville Central has been in the attack zone, the attack third of the field now for the last minute or so, and they have been able to keep it there.
That's Margot Danakis. Stripped of the ball by Allison Wade. Allison controlling in the midfield zone. Danakis retreats well. Pushed ahead and one-timed again by your girl Jeanette Kroos. She wastes no time back there. And Josha Kruger with the same story with the left. Pushes it outside, allows some more help to retreat. We'd like to remind you the broadcast rights for tonight's state soccer finals have been granted to Sports Channel by the Illinois High School Association. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of this event without the expressed written consent of the IHSA and Sports Channel is strictly prohibited. 2-1 is our score. 20 minutes, 49 seconds remain. St. Charles with a goal late in the first half, other than about the last 5 minutes, has really controlled this second half of action. As Ed mentioned, the play has moved to at least the midfield, pushing towards an offensive threat, but the Naperville Central Redhawks have yet to really have a great scoring opportunity other than the one great save that Merritt Elsie made when she dove to her right and hauled in the fine shot by Naperville Central.
Substitution now for St. Charles. Megan Ryan comes in for Ruth Poulin, and in the first half when Ryan came in, she made an immediate impact with the 2 or 3 really dangerous chances in front of goal.
Almost a look to the future there.
Only a freshman.
Ruth Poulin, the senior. Naperville Central, the first team in eons to score on St. Charles, who are now, including tonight's goal, has allowed only 5 goals this year. But Naperville Central is a team in which St. Charles greatly respects. Tim Daly said they're a hungry team. They want it badly. They're very strong up front. They're fast, and they will try to outwork us. St. Charles has had their hands full, and as we mentioned right off the top, Daly voted for Ed Watson for Coach of the Year. Ed didn't know he could vote for himself, or he probably would have won the award.
Well, it's only his second year there. The first year he had the team, he won 18-5-2, and this year he's 21-1 or 22-1-4. That's not a bad first 2 years of coaching at a program.
And you want to talk about the spirit of competitiveness, if you will. And I'll exchange this story in a moment as St. Charles may get something going. We've got a second to talk about the fact that the girls from St. Charles sent a letter to Ann Mucci when she came down with mononucleosis, thinking that Ann would be out for the season, telling her to get well. They would miss competing against her. Something you don't find every day. An opposing team taking the time to send a card, a get well card, and Ann would like to get well on them tonight, but she has been virtually silent in this evening's contest. But just a nice gesture of sportsmanship between 2 really powerful teams on the west side.
Becky Frano really has done the majority of the marking on Ann Mucci this evening. Amy Reinhardt has had to deal with Amy Dodell. Rebecca Rose playing that ball. We really haven't heard much from her either. She's been forced into more of a defensive role here with St. Charles controlling most of the ball. She hasn't been able to show her offensive prowess.
Rose arguably the best defensive midfielder in the state, and with that in mind, Marcy Miller probably the best offensive midfielder in the state.
Good matchup.
And then Jessica Smith, number 28 of Naperville Central, was the red-white winner, and you kind of describe a red-white award in Naperville Central High School. I think no further explanation needed. It's all about heart and determination, that type of MVP, if you will.
And there she is throwing the ball in. Who did that last touch?
St. Charles pushes it up the right wing. Jeanette plays it with the left. Amy tripped up on the play by Amy Reinert.
Adele with some nice composure there. Stopped the ball there. You see number 24 back to her left wing position.
And a free kick to be taken by Jessica Weird. Missed the beginning of the year with a stress fracture in her back, but has come back very strong and has played a strong match this evening. Tripped up again. That was Naperville Central. That was 18 Stephanie Cox. Or check that, that was Jennifer Crummel who was tripped up. And they'll move it a little closer, and now we're within range of the big strong foot of Jessica Weird. Or will it be Amy Dowdell?
Not much wind this evening. What wind there is kind of cross field from far side to near side.
Strong shot. Played easily by Merritt Elzing. She's solid.
Yeah. And you know, talking to Tim Daly, one of the things her weaknesses had been the high balls, the balls in the air, but Daly says she's just worked so hard at it that it's become one of the stronger parts of her game. There you see the bandaged Marcy Miller, the 8 stitches over her right eye, and also with the left wrist taped up.
Take a little more than a little thread and some stitches and
That's right.
a couple of bandages to keep her out of this game.
No question about it.
Courtney Farina, the freshman, sacrificing the body, but the call goes against her. And here comes Naperville Central again. Getting to crunch time, Ed. We're under 15 minutes.
Naperville Central just has to keep plugging away. They're actually playing a pretty solid contest right now.
Trying the one-timer. There's Rebecca Rose and cleared away again by St. Charles. We will see St. Charles become defensive-minded. They're defensive-oriented as a start, but you don't want to retreat too much and cause yourself too much commotion, right, Ed?
Without a doubt, you know, and now we're starting to see Allison Wade and Megan Ryan come. There's Ryan, who's she's a forward. She's receiving the ball about 45 yards away from goal, maybe 40 yards away from goal. And when both of your forwards come back like that, you crunch the field a little bit. You don't allow yourself to play that long ball to somebody forward. You're right in that aspect. St. Charles doesn't want to get caught sagging back too much. They do want to protect the lead, but there has to be that balance there.
Under 15 minutes remaining. We hope you've enjoyed the contest thus far. We have certainly here at Sports Channel enjoyed bringing it to you. The state championship is on the line. 1990, 1992, and potentially 1994 could be special years for the Fighting Saints of St. Charles if they can hold on to this 2-1 lead. Shelly Kruger with an ill-advised punt towards the left side, and that is almost the equivalent of a turnover as it rolled right out of bounds at about the midfield line. And St. Charles able to push it up, and of course they're going to get it to the feet of Marcy Miller. Melissa Campbell tried to work it against Debbie Welch.
Debbie stepped in nicely there. A couple of times this game we've seen Naperville Central defenders waiting for the ball to get in a position where they could play it while a St. Charles attacker was sneaking in quickly. Well, that time Debbie turned the tables and got there before the St. Charles player could get the ball in a better playable position.
Jennifer Crummel to throw it in for Naperville Central. St. Charles, certainly a great blend of experience, talent, and determination this year. Tim Daly said tonight he was going to put his soccer team on autopilot and let them go.
I really don't know how much coaching you can do when they get this far. You can prepare them before the game and maybe make some adjustments at halftime. But from the sidelines in a game like this, just sit back and enjoy.
And just make sure they don't go shopping.
That's right. It's going to be the key to the victory.
I'll tell you what. And Brett will probably take the credit. Talked to the other assistant, Joe Morrow, and He said, I said, what was the highlight of the season for you guys? And he said it was the night he got a truckload of the girls and toilet papered Tim Daly's house.
The old TP job.
That's right. Great prowess, on the field, but off the field, still great fun. Cassie Dean on the left side. Chased down off the ball.
That's always fun cleaning up.
Oh, worse is if you get a rain after it happens. Then it's over. Not that I ever partook in those, those activities. That's right. Eggs were always for scrambling or hard boiling, right?
Exactly.
Alyssa Campbell, right side. Alyssa being chased down quickly by Jennifer Crummell. And the foul called on Jennifer Crummell.
That was a super turn by Melissa Campbell. Received the ball with her back to the goal, and her first touch was a hard cut to the right. It allowed her to get the step on Crummell there, but Crummell also with a nice recovery run to get back into play. That's why players like Campbell and Cassie Dean are so effective out on the wings. They've got the speed, but you also have to know how to use the speed, and they certainly do.
Campbell also the recipient of a Division I scholarship. She will play with the Louisville Cardinals. State championship teams led by seniors generally have college coaches swarming them in the latter part of the year, don't they?
Yeah, I would imagine you're going to find a section of scouts.
Scouts? Jessica Wint, strong leg all the way down, and retreating and heading the ball up was Marcy Miller. She's everywhere. Croce plays it. Now she'll have to chase it down with the left. Headed back forward by Melissa Campbell. Look at how quickly St. Charles was on the back of Amy Dowdell. Good defensive move there by Amy Reiner.
Oh, it was a superb tackle.
Closed the gap quickly and heads it up again. St. Charles really starting to shine right now, aren't they, Ed?
Yeah, I think they've gotten the game back in their control, and we've got less than 10 minutes. Although it wasn't a raging storm by Naperville Central, it was some light pressure, and a pressure that it appeared the Red Hawks were starting to sustain a little bit. St. Charles has gotten through that, and now the game has swung back in their favor.
Well, truly, St. Charles can win this match, and there'll still be a sidebar story on how somebody finally scored on them.
Yeah.
And as Brett Hill said to me, this team has more character than to get depressed by being scored upon, and they have proven it tonight. Handball, it went off the hand, the arm. So here comes Naperville Central as the clock ticks away, and certainly in the favor of St. Charles right now with 8 minutes remaining.
Let's see if Naperville start taking some more chances and push people forward a little more. Thing is, you can't push people forward if you don't have the ball.
Generally, that's because Marcy Miller does. St. Charles just wants to control tempo as they have about the last 6 or 7 minutes just brilliantly. Centering past Melissa Campbell. This could be the state championship.
What a save.
Shelly Kruger knocked down the shot, scooted towards it before it backspinned into the back of the net.
This is a superb ball played into Melissa Campbell, and she kind of got the ball cut outside a little bit too far on her right, but still got a strong shot to goal, and Kruger was in great position to make that stop. But the ball originally played in, cut the defense. I think that was Ruth Poulin who got her right footer and just slid it into that little slot that Campbell took advantage of.
Now we see why Coach switches keepers at half. He's got 2 good ones. Marcy Miller, wide of the net. While we have a moment, run down some of the names. We've just been handed the 1994 Girls Soccer State Tournament All-Tournament team. Amy Dowdell has a goal tonight, a forward. Merritt Elsie of St. Charles. Cammie Kessel. Josha Kruger of St. Charles. Marcy Miller. Ann Mucci of Naperville Central. Carrie Nelson of Palatine. Jenny Shalelitz of Palatine. Allison Wade of St. Charles. Jessica Wert of Naperville Central. And Jamie Zemla of Palatine, the 1994 All-Tournament team. Congratulations to those young ladies. Cammie Kessel from Granite City, a defender.
Allison Wade tried to nod in and get one there.
Under 6 minutes remaining here in suburban Hoffman Estates. Melissa Campbell will get up, no question about it.
Into the red arch, number 21, Susie Miller.
Susie Miller
Going to the red arch,
is in the game for the Red Hawks. Remember, she was the goaltender in the first half.
See Campbell stick in there, and both her and Smith going at it there on the outside. You know, it just brought to mind that I think all of these individual matchups on the field have been, for the most part, pretty even. You know, one time the attacker's getting the better of it, then the defender. Each individual matchup on the wings and in the midfield has been fun to watch.
Kruger hauls it in. 5 minutes remain. There's Susie Miller. And the foul is called on St. Charles. Anna Marinaccio. And pushed up quickly by the Red Hawks. Now controlled again by Amy. And she clears it in, and unquestionably Merritt Elsie will haul that in.
See, Mike, I think for the most part, Naperville Central wants to play the one touch and get it upfield as quick as they can, but there are certain situations where the girls have to say, hey, I got some space here. And in that situation with Amy, she had a lot of room in the center of the field, but elected to one-time it. It's easy to say when you're sitting up here, but
certainly easy to realize that you're not going to beat Merritt Elsie from that far out of his zone.
And now I think, you know, if one of the Red Hawks took advantage of maybe taking a couple of touches and trying to beat a defender on a dribble, it might catch St. Charles off guard, because they haven't seen that all game long. They know that the Red Hawks are playing it quickly, trying to get it upfield, and it might catch a defender on their heels.
Well, you talk about retreating. That was Cassie Dean, the left wing, who cleared that ball out.
And look at where Marcy Miller is, all the way in the penalty area.
This could be one of the last gaps of offense for Naperville Central. 3.5 minutes remaining in the contest.
See, now right now, Naperville Central has two defenders back here. They really should commit another person, and there she goes. Debbie Walsh. Or Welsh.
Conan High School is our venue. St. Charles is 3 minutes away from their third state championship in the last 6 years.
An undefeated state champion.
Call goes the way of the Fighting Saints, flagged against Naperville Central, and precious moments tick off again.
There was that Campbell-Smith battle again.
Josha Kruger. The ball girls become very important at this point in the game. Naperville Central at some point needs to display some type of urgency.
I agree.
And a high kick, dangerous play. Naperville Central to advance here with 2 minutes remaining in regulation. The Red Hawks' only loss of the year to these Fighting Saints of St. Charles. The score in that one was 2-0. That game played back on April 9th. Will 2 goals be enough again?
It's certainly beginning to look like that.
St. Charles. Take your time, Marcy. Show us how poised you are. And she won't even take the kick. Yep.
Excellent.
The gamemanship.
Yep. It's all part of it.
Josha Kruger for the free kick. Strong-footed Josha cleared out by Naperville Central. 1 minute 15 seconds remain. Central needs to push it up now.
Oh, great turn.
Susie Miller, the keeper, with that
goalkeeper.
Turn.
Yep.
Or is she a midfielder who plays goalie? We're not quite sure. And the Saints fans are on their feet. We are under a minute remaining. Ruth Poulin, played by Kruger.
Almost put a little icing on the cake.
Amy Dowdell played a fine game today. Tried that same turn that Miller used, didn't work. 15 seconds. Going to take a minor miracle now. The 1994 state championship will belong to St. Charles. (27-0-1). Naperville Central, certainly nothing to be ashamed of. A great season and a fine performance tonight, but the prohibitive favorite has done exactly what most expected them to do. Your 1994 state soccer champions are from St. Charles High School.
When you don't lose a game all season, there certainly can't be any argument over who the best team in the state is, and they are the St. Charles Saints. And, you know, the tough part for Naperville Central is the seniors who are leaving this program after this game because they just fell short. On the other side, though, Ed Watson has to already be thinking about next year already because he's got some players coming back and some players with a high level of skill.
Congratulations to St. Charles. We'll be back for the awards presentation after this timeout. The Fighting Saints win by a final of 2-1. A precious moment indeed as St. Charles raises the state championship trophy. They are now truly the best for the year of 1994. A memorable girls state soccer tournament, a memorable championship here on Sports Channel, joined by the winning coach, the head coach of the state champions once again, Tim Daly. And Tim, a job well done this evening.
I thank you very much. Very difficult game, very tough one for us, but we couldn't be happier with it.
You said to me today when we were doing our homework for the game that you were going to put the young ladies on autopilot, and you let them enjoy their moment as the coaching staff stepped behind too. They were truly a team driven by themselves this year, weren't they?
Oh, they deserve it. They faced unbelievable pressure, I think, all year. They were rated #1. People said all kinds of good things about them all year, and that's a lot of pressure for high school kids, and I think they came through just brilliantly.
The best coaching job that could be done was to leave them alone today, and as we kidded during the telecast, Ed and I, Brett Hall said, keep them away from the shopping mall, right?
That's true, too. No, we have to put them on that. They're a very independent group. They grew together as the season progressed, and we're just real pleased with the way they came on. They matured, they learned to play together, and I think the results were obvious tonight.
And what a wonderful performance by your midfielder, Marcy Miller. I mean, she really controlled this soccer match this evening.
She did, and I mean, Marcy was playing hurt. She got hurt this afternoon. She couldn't be more banged up, I don't think, and still play, and yet she just has more courage than any kid I've ever seen. She's just a tremendous human being.
And Tim, all season long, the criticism on Merritt Elsie is, well, she's had so many shutouts because you have a great defense. That big save in the second half was Merritt Elsie at her best.
Absolutely. When she's been tested this year, which hasn't been much, she's always come through for us, and that's why she gets the accolades she does.
And, of course, Josha Kruger came through and held down the backfield as she always has.
Yeah. Now, in the first half, our defense was a little shaky. Again, I think the nerves were kicked in, but second half, I thought the defense really stepped up and did the job they did all year.
Certainly a great amount of credit, as you have given them all season long, deserves to be thrown towards the Red Hawks of Naperville Central, though.
They're a great team. I mean, those kids have more heart. I love to play against them. I can't complain about the win, but I love to play against a team like that because they're just fine young ladies.
You lose a lot of great seniors, but something tells me it isn't rebuilding in your mind, it's reloading, Coach.
We've got some younger girls, always a lot of talent there. They're going to have a lot of shoes to fill, though.
Congratulations on a great year in the state championship.
Thank you very much.
Tim Daly has done it again. It is becoming old hat, but it never becomes old when you are deemed the best in the state of Illinois. We'll be back, wrap up tonight's telecast after this timeout. Again, the final, 2-1, St. Charles a winner.
I just want to be remembered as a guy who enjoyed the game, played it 110%.
And 31 for MJ.
Always had something to prove, and when that challenge was in front of him, he stepped forward and proved it.
I love Chicago Stadium. I love the respect that you get there, the loyal fans that certainly show up and cheer you on, even when you're 15 or 20 points down. They want to see you work hard and possibly come back and win the game.
You still have the faith, you have the ability to achieve what you want to achieve. You just got to believe in it.
Let's fly Sunday! Yes, Sunday! 20,000 points in the career of Michael Jordan.
Spotlight's been very, very good to me. Hopefully I've been good to it.
And a lot of congratulations also needs to go to the Red Hawks of Naperville Central. They were only beaten by one team this year, and that team is our state champion, St. Charles. Naperville Central, a young team, which indeed will be back and be heard from in future years. St. Charles the winner, 2-1. Our final, all the scoring came in the first 40 minutes of the contest. Allison Wade got St. Charles on the board in the third minute of our contest, with Josha Kruger getting the assist. Amy Dowdell gets the only goal for Naperville Central, with the freshman getting the assist at 17:48. And then Marcy Miller, appropriate I suppose, that Marcy Miller gets the game and the state championship winner. No scoring in the second half, couple of great saves both by Kruger and by Merritt Elsie, and the shots on goal the second half really dominated by St. Charles. The Fighting Saints out shooting Naperville 9-2. First half was a little more even, but in the second half we truly saw the senior leading team of St. Charles take over this match.
I think you hit it right on the head, Mike. The game was played well on both sides, but when it came down to it, players like Marcy Miller and Ruth Poulin, they've been in these situations before. They know how to handle it. There's a little tentativeness with Naperville Central. They got a young team, and games like this, experience comes out, and it did tonight.
Well, that Georgetown-Villanova analogy the coach used early worked early, but when it came down to it, Georgetown was the big team tonight.
You know what? I think the unfortunate part of it, Mike, is that the winning goal went off the head of a Naperville Central defender. Those things happen in the game, but I'm sure Debbie Welch is going to be going home, oh man, if I could have gotten up a little higher, but she was scored upon by a great player, Marcy Miller, curving that ball right into the corner.
Nonetheless, we advertised it at the beginning of the telecast as a changing of times for the girls' athletics at the high school level. I think we saw some great players who will go on to have fine collegiant careers.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about the changing. Well, there were 4,000 people in the stands tonight. You'd think this is entertaining and enjoyable to watch. These people are out here, and they saw a great game.
Well, certainly always a joy to work with you. Hope we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, me too.
Ed Vicinic, we enjoyed a good one, and we'd like to also thank all the nice people at the IHSA who help us out in all our coverage of state championships. The executive director is Dave Fry, and he has one of the finest crews in all of athletics. Our next IHSA event on Sports Channel will be the 1994 Girls Class 2A Softball Championships. It comes your way Saturday at noon. This game was produced and directed by Terry Cortez. The graphics coordinator was Tim Colasar. Our executive producer at Sports Channel is John Toohey. Remote facilities provided by Trio Video of Chicago. Once again, our final score. St. Charles defeats Naperville Central 2-1. For Ed Vicinic, I'm White Goldberg saying so long, everybody. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel.